going to talk about overcoming fear. All of us experience some kind of fear. Some people are afraid of catching the coronavirus. Some people are afraid of losing their jobs. Some people are afraid of failures. Some people are afraid of death. So how does a cultivator overcome his fear? Today we are going to discuss 3 ways to overcome our fears. Hopefully this will help you transform your life. Number 1, believe in karma. Karma is what we call activity of cause and effect, or we call causation. So for every good or bad act of the body, mind, and speech, there is a corresponding result that we will experience in the future. So every moment we are experiencing the karmic result of our prior actions, and simultaneously we are creating new karma that will be experienced in the future. The saying is, Bodhisattvas fear the cause, not its result. Living beings fear the result, not its cause. Most of us are fear of the result. Am I gonna get the virus? Am I gonna lose my job? Or am I gonna fail or something? So we're only worried about the result. But a Bodhisattva is wise enough, they're only concerned about the cause and not its result. They proactively work on the cause. Make sure you plant a good seed, you will bear good fruit. So the good seed is virtuous deeds and thoughts, and that will bear you a good life and good fortune. Our fortune is for us to create. If you know karma, you'll not be fearful anymore, because karma is fair. Everything that happened to us is exactly what we deserve. So you will calmly accept all life situations because you know we are responsible. You just work on the cause right now at the present moment. Make sure it's good. You are creating the best future for yourself. In the Ming Dynasty, there is a Mr. Yu. He was a talented scholar. He passed the first level of the imperial exam when he was only 18. But he could not achieve higher placements no matter how hard he tried. He did a lot of good deeds. He even formed a fellowship of nobilities and teach people how to do good deeds, have virtues, and do wholesome acts. He had 5 sons and 4 died. 1 got lost in the marketplace when he was 8. He had 4 daughters and 3 died. His wife was devastated. She cried too much and lost her vision and became blind. On every New Year Eve, he prayed to the kitchen god, hoping for good fortune. When he was 47, that New Year Eve, someone knocked on the door. He opened the door. There was a distinguished looking gentleman, and he said, "I am Mr. Chen. I came to pay you a visit." Mr. Yu gladly invited him in and started telling him about his miserable life. All of a sudden, Mr. Chen said, "You don't have to tell me anymore. I know all about your life. Your problem is you have too many unwholesome thoughts, and you are a hypocrite. You only do good deeds in front of people. When you're home by yourself, you don't follow the teaching. You don't have any sexual misconduct, but your mind is full of unwholesome desires. You're always arrogant, always jealous of others, and always have to win. If you don't reform and change your way now, your punishment will be even greater." Mr. Yu realized that only the kitchen god will know the details about his life and know all his thoughts. So he got down on his knees and started bowing to Mr. Chen. Soon enough, Mr. Chen vanished into the thin air. From that night on, Mr. Yu sincerely repented and reformed. He made sure he only has kind, virtuous thoughts and actions, and he eliminated all his bad habits. 3 years later, he went to take the imperial exam. The examiner was very impressed by him, hired him to teach his son, and helped him enter the imperial college. 2 years later, he took the imperial exam and finally passed the higher level of the exam. he was called by the imperial eunuch, Mr. Yan, to teach his 5 godsons. When he saw the 5 sons, he noticed one of them looked just like his lost son. So he asked the boy, "Can I see your left foot?" And sure enough, there was 2 birthmarks on the bottom of his left foot, just as he remembered of his son. So Mr. Yan gladly gave back his son. The son went home, saw his mom, who is now blind. He was so sad. He ran up to embrace her and kissed her eyes. Miraculously, at that moment, she recovered her vision. Mr. Yu, he lived till 88 years old. He had 7 grandchildren, and all of them had prosperous lives. So this story is telling us we don't have to be fearful. All you have to do is work on your causes, and you are creating good fortune and a wonderful life for yourself. Number 2, remove the container. In the Shiragami Sutra, Ananda was trying to find his true Buddha nature. He asked the Buddha, "Buddha, when you took me to see the heavens, I saw all these great heavenly realms. Back here, I only see this little room. Does that mean my Buddha nature has shrunk?" And Buddha gave an example. If you have a square container, does the air in the square container become square shaped? If you have a round container, does the air in there become round shaped? All of us are mistaken ourselves for the phenomena and lost sight of our true nature and limited the scope of our observation with limitations and boundaries. If you can influence the phenomena, you are the same as Tathagata. Phenomena means the box, the thing, the substance. If you remove the limitations and boundaries you set up in your own mind, you will be a Buddha. You are the same as Buddha. Nobody is limiting you except your own mind. In the 1900s in America, there was a Dr. Lu. He was a doctor, but he was bedridden for 23 years because of his severe arthritis. But he never let that stop him from living a meaningful life. He accumulated all the address of the people that are bedridden, and he started writing them, encouraging, loving letters, cheer them up, and they will write back. And he formed this great, wonderful writing club that helps so many people. Every year, on average, he writes 1,400 letters. He's never noticed that he's bedridden all this time. So why is that? Because he removed the box. He removed the fear inside of him, and he removed all limitations. And we can all do that if we just realize that we have no box to begin with. Number 3, becoming a bestower of fearlessness. In Buddhism, we have a Guanyin Bodhisattva. He is a perceiver of all sounds of the world. Whenever there's danger, people call his name, he will come to the rescue without failing. In chapter 25 of the Lotus Sutra, it talks about the Guanyin Bodhisattva. One of the verses, it says, "If sentient beings are in great adversity and immeasurable pain afflicts them, the wonderful power of the wisdom of Guanyin can relieve the suffering of the world." If you're in any adversity, if you just contemplate the power of Guanyin Bodhisattva and chant his name, fire cannot burn you, water cannot drown you, poison cannot harm you, evil robber cannot touch you. If you want to have a son, you will have a virtuous son. If you want a daughter, you will have a wonderful daughter that everybody loves. And if you are tormented by greed, anger, and ignorance, if you just chant the Bodhisattva's name and contemplate on his power, he will come save you, clear your mind, and free you from all delusions. Why is that? Because when we chant his name, our inner, perfect compassion and wisdom surface, and we transform into Guanyin Bodhisattva that is a powerful, almighty bestower of fearlessness. All of us, we just have to believe. So believe in karma, work on the causes, and you're creating your own destiny. No need to be fearful anymore. Remove the container. You are limiting yourself with your own fear and limitation. Remove the limitation. Your potential will come out. Becoming a bestower of fearlessness. We can all become Guan Yin Bodhisattva and relieve the suffering of the world. So that's the class for today. Hopefully that will help you conquer all your fears and transform your life. Thank you for listening. Amitofo.